Angela Pinky Swear Peters.
And I'm Latchkey Laurie Schultz. We were born in the 70s.
We're children of the 80s.
And had our coming of age in the 90s. You know, the good old days when kids could be kids.
When music had real instruments.
And when no one ever seemed to worry about carbs.
If you want a flashback to simpler times, buckle up.
Wait, seatbelts? Where we're going, we don't need seatbelts.
Well then, just grab your Jolt Cola, smell that teen spirit, and hop on our big old banana seat bike to take a spin down memory lane with us.
For we are the best generation that ever was.
You're listening to Generation X Rated.
The Survivor Stories. Ooh.
It's your favorite time of
It's
year.
my time. It's my time. My time to shine.
It is.
It's Halloween time. This is Halloween. Etc.
I feel like this is your episode. Like, it is so you're Halloween all the time. Like,
yeah,
it's not scary, but like you love horror, you love scary stuff. I'm looking around and it's decorated like Halloween, and I think, wasn't this always here?
Yes.
Like you have a lot. Are they ravens or crows?
They're crows, but they're in the same family. Crows and ravens.
But it's your. Ever since we've talked about movies, it's always scary movies you've seen. So, like, I feel like this is... And happy anniversary, because we met for the first time filming your podcast Out for Coffee at my store.
Yes.
On Halloween.
Yes.
And you put random selfies on my phone.
Yes, I did. And
I was like, I love you.
That's the danger.
You're wild.
Anybody who knows me. And you didn't even really know me.
I didn't know you at all.
No. But you left your phone in my presence.
Yes.
And if it's an iPhone and I can get into the camera, you know. Actually, Mike's here right now. And Mike was here early setting up and went out to get some stuff out of his car. And when he did that, I tried to get into his phone to take some pictures. And I couldn't figure out how to open up his non-iPhone.
He knows you.
How to fool a Gen Xer, just have an Android.
I like my iPhone. Yeah, I'm used to it.
I didn't know you could do that. That's a whole new thing.
Ooh. Yeah. So pretty much anybody out there, if you know me and you leave your phone unattended in my presence, just look back later. You'll have a little piece of me with you.
That's adorable.
Every time you go away, you take a piece of me with you. Or meat with you. You know the misheard lyric.
Who?
You know the song, was it Paul Young? Every time you go
I know
away, you take a piece of me. But I hear meat. You take a piece of meat with you. Which you probably could, because I usually have something in the fridge.
Yeah, there's meat everywhere.
Yeah, there's meat everywhere in here.
Just lying around.
Summer sausage here.
Well, your dog's name is Meat.
Yeah.
Short for meatball?
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf. Okay.
He gets meathead, meat stick, meatloaf, meatball.
Nice to meet you.
Meat man.
Meat man.
Meat hole. I don't know where that one came from, but...
Meow, 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 meat.
Meow, meow, meat hole, meow, meow. I'm still there. It's still in my brain.
I know.
Still doing it.
Okay, so...
Halloween for life, baby.
Yeah, Halloween. Go back to the days of Halloween when you were...
The days of yore.
The days of yore when you were a child living in the world of Halloween.
Yeah.
On the actual time that everyone... Not like all your Halloween, but like the time of year.
Time of year. When it was acceptable for everyone to celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my jam back then, too. Loved it. Loved Halloween. Had homemade costumes from day one.
Everyone did, yeah.
What
were some of them?
One, my mom made me, and there's a picture somewhere, obviously I still have all these photos. I don't know what I was supposed to be, but I had a really big crown made out of cardboard that she then put tinfoil all over to make it silver.
Obviously. And
I had a wand with a cardboard star at the end, also full of tinfoil. Mm-hmm. You know those mosquito netting that you would put over a baby carriage? Mm-hmm. That was my veil underneath this crown. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the dress was that I was wearing. It was some dress. And then she had some really funky, almost like tribal islandy type necklaces, like made of wood.
Sounds like it was like
a whole bunch of things. I don't know what the hell this was supposed to be. It was clearly not the real me.
There was no theme.
No theme. Just let's throw a random bunch of shit together, and that's your costume, Laurie. There you go. My brother had some cute little cat costume on, and I'm this homemade whatever. But that kind of inspired me to
make your own costumes.
Make my own costumes and to make people guess.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
If you want something done right, you do it yourself.
That's right. That's my life theme. If you want it done right, you just do it yourself.
So any store-bought costume back in the day was literally plastic mask with
I had some of those too.
Yeah, where it would like the elastic would the staples were never done right, so the string would come off, but the condensation inside, and you have peek holes,
tiny little
and a little hole like
and a little mouth slit,
blow-up doll hole, like just a.
Well, I don't know about that, but
and then you'd have like an apron thing that you just pushed your arms in, right, and it would just have a picture.
Yeah, and I was so upset with these outfits because I think I had one that was Smurfette. Oh. We go back to Smurfette. This was the blonde one. This was the original dark-haired Smurfette that we talked about earlier.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Or was it Snow White? It was one of the two of them anyway. But the smock that you would wear had a picture of the actual character on it. And I remember saying to my mom, the character is not going to wear a picture of themselves on their clothing.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense.
Agreed.
Yeah.
No, you're right. They did do that.
But
That's such an excuse,
when that elastic let go and slapped you in the face, that sting is unparalleled. Mm-hmm. There's nothing else in this world that matches the sting of that thin little elastic. It looked like dental floss. Mm-hmm. But man, did that ever give. Oh, you just feel that. It made the back of your neck just sting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, give you the shivers.
Did you ever wear the UNICEF box around your neck?
No.
Did you?
Well, I wasn't around your neck.
Yeah, like you would wear your UNICEF box and they tie a string around it.
Oh.
And then you would get money for the kids.
Like you were some kind of
like
Saint
the
Bernard?
orange and the orange. You never had a UNICEF box?
I never took them.
Oh, you're like, this isn't about them.
This isn't about charity. Me. This is about me getting candy. The charity has its moment.
It certainly isn't Halloween. Yeah. What are you, a door-to-door salesman?
Can't I just have one damn day for me?
Oh, no. No, you can't. What would you do with a whole day just for you?
Do you want it alphabetical?
Well, it certainly wouldn't be charity, would it?
No. There's plenty of time for charity. Halloween's not it.
No, it's a scary time.
No. And did really that money ever go anywhere?
I remember tripping once and my money flew all over the sidewalk.
That was
my mom just like picking it all up, and I was like, this is it. I'm done. I think maybe I gave up on charity then too.
Yeah. Where did it ever go, really?
We were encouraged to do the box.
I know, but you can't handle the box of money and your pillowcase full of cans of pop.
You used a pillowcase too?
Of course I used a pillowcase.
I feel like my dad was so excited to share like we all used pillowcases, so we were never allowed to have any Halloween bags. Like, you must have a pillowcase.
Right.
And it was true. Like, they were the industrial, sturdy, hold all the candy in the world.
Yeah, one time I thought I would try and sneak out of the house with a hefty bag, and my mom was like, that's just a little too much.
Yeah.
What do you think you're doing?
Getting candy, Mom.
Yeah.
No, it's full of money you're going to give to the poor. No.
Remember the good old days, though, when your neighbor could give you, like, a candy apple or some Rice Krispie squares?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry.
Yeah, there was 2 levels. There was the door-to-door candy that you got, and then there was, like, the people who knew you, and you would get, like, a popcorn ball or the candy apple.
The good stuff.
And there was those a-holes that would give you the toothbrush.
Yeah.
Remember them?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were on rich streets when you got a full can of pop or a full chocolate bar, though.
Full chocolate bar.
Yeah. Those were the rich people.
What was the chocolate bar that you went for? You really hoped you had the fingers crossed for.
I mean, I'm an old soul. I was always coffee crisp. Like, I'd have my coffee smokes and a coffee crisp.
Coffee crisp, baby.
Just before church.
That's mine. Today in my class, we were actually talking about Big Turk.
Oh, yeah.
You a fan of Big Turk?
No.
I love a good Big
disgusting.
Turk. Mike, have you ever had a Big Turk?
I have never had a Big Turk.
I have them at the store, and they sell to a certain generation, like people, they're red in the middle, right?
It's like licorice.
The Turk part.
It's Turkish delight. Mm-hmm. It's like a jelly. It's almost like a gummy.
It's coffee, it's chocolate covered, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's delicious. Love it.
Okay.
Yeah, always have.
And what was so you're opening up your candy bag. It's the night, and your mom's like, you can have one. And you're like, whatever. What's the first thing you look for?
It was either the coffee crisp or the Reese's peanut butter cups.
Peanut butter cups, yes.
Also a can of pop.
Yeah.
That was pretty safe. That if I got thirsty on my route, I knew that I was legally able to, and by legally I mean my mom would approve.
Yeah.
I was able to go on my route and open up the PC version of ginger ale or whatever it was that I got. Yeah, a little sip
or
because
RC
that's
Cola.
RC Cola, baby, or a tab if we're talking younger years.
Yeah,
a tab. But yeah, if we sometimes you just get thirsty on your candy route.
You gotta go until you get your bag full. So.
Did you have a certain neighborhood, like a route, or would you get dropped off in the rich area?
We honestly, like, my dad grew up in the town we lived in, so he would drive us when we were little without going out with friends, but he would take us to all the pockets of neighbors and cousins and whoever, and we would do really well. Probably because he didn't really want to walk around with us. And then I think it was high school when I was allowed to go out with girlfriends.
Yeah.
And then we were like, are we too old? So
Never.
I think
Never
grade 8, grade 9 might have been the last time I went out. I can't remember.
Oh, that's too bad.
And then we were just out drinking on Halloween somewhere.
No. After grade 9?
Before grade 9.
What?
Grade 9, yes. Grade 9.
I was such a goody two-shoes. I was literally out trick-or-treating until I was probably 18. And you know what? I applaud that.
Yourself.
Yes. I'm giving myself a pat on the back here.
Good for you.
Because you know what? I could have been out doing horrible things on Halloween night. But no, I chose to see...
I did that for you.
That's right. I chose to see the childlike wonder.
Aww. So,
and free candy.
How many costumes can you remember from like the earliest on until like you were 18 and the oldest person out trick-or-treating?
Oh. It helps if you take a young kid in your neighborhood with you.
Yeah, just grab one. Yeah. Anyone.
Well, don't just grab a young kid in your neighborhood. It's not an instructional video how to do that. Please don't do that. Angela, you're going to get us in a lot of trouble. What was I? I was that silly Smurfette thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or Snow White.
It's hard to say.
I remember in the 6th grade, my mom and her friend Debbie went to the Goodwill and got me a wedding dress.
Dreams.
And I was a dead bride.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Which was really cool. What else was I? Once I was roadkill. It was awesome.
Is that maybe what your mom made that one time?
No. I think it was in high school when I was roadkill.
Yeah.
I was in grade 10. I was in the Wizard of Oz, our school's production.
And Roadkill was one of the characters? No. There was the Tin Man, the Lion, and Roadkill.
That was the director's version, the editor's
And
cut.
what would Oz give Roadkill if he made it to Oz? Like, what? What does he...
Listen, I was one of the dancing skeletons in a dance number. So I had a skeleton outfit, but I also got to star as... I was the first one on the stage.
Yeah.
And, it was a farm in Kansas that they were at.
Yeah.
I was a cow. Shut up right now.
And you got hit by a car and you became Roadkill?
I was a cow who had to blow away in the cyclone, in the tornado. So I got to keep my cow costume. So what I did was I kept the cow head and wore the skeleton body, and I called myself Roadkill.
Well, I love creativity.
It was creative.
I think your mom maybe planted some seeds.
Right?
Yeah.
It was great.
Just mash it all together and call it Roadkill.
Yeah. There's some that today probably couldn't be used.
Oh.
But I could then.
Mm-hmm.
It was a different time. Mm-hmm. Very different time. What else? You want to get some, as I was getting older now, or?
I thought you would know them chronologically.
I didn't.
I really thought you'd be like...
what?
Like Madonna,
I don't.
Star Wars.
No. Never. I didn't like Star Wars, and I didn't care for Madonna. And I couldn't get nipple tassels to fit when I was so small.
I'm so sorry for that.
Everyone was.
Oh my god. I'm trying to think of one costume I had and I cannot right now.
I can't think of it.
My mom had made me this really beautiful turquoisey blue genie costume, and it was like a genie hat and everything. And I think, she was a seamstress person. She can sew anything. And they were so good that But then she'd make you wear it every year until you were like, so you're like, I want to be the genie again. She's like, get your UNICEF box on and get outside and save the children. Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to think of. Well, funny thing is, I got better at costume making once I had kids. So Bodhi was born. My youngest was born October 3rd, and I was manic after. And I made a whole Toy Story. I was Jessie, all handmade. We had Buzz Lightyear. He was Woody. Nevaeh was the whatever Bo Peep. Oh. Like insane. Putting this all glue gunning all together for Halloween.
That's ambitious.
I thought so too.
Right after giving birth to a baby.
Ridiculous.
Or anything else.
And all the pictures, all the kids are crying, and I'm like this, and I'm just like, it's mayhem.
It sounds very manic.
But I was better at making them costumes. I can't, for the life of me, think of any of my Halloween costumes.
Even as an adult? Like,
I think I was like an angel, whatever was easy, right? Like, it was about the candy, to be fair.
It really was. Yeah. We had a gremlin costume. You remember the gremlins?
Like a real gremlin? Or...
Like, it was a full bodysuit with a giant gizmo head that my brother got to be once. And I remember we were on somebody's porch, and the person opened the door, and my brother went to say something, and he fell off the porch into her bushes. It was great. There's this gremlin lying there. Yeah. That was a good time.
How did you have to take your brother all the time? Yeah. Same.
Yeah, but my mom enjoyed going as well.
Did she?
Out with us, yeah.
Good. Yeah. Would they dress up?
No. No, my mom didn't dress up. But when my niece was born and my brother would take her out, he would dress up. And so would I. Yeah.
And then...
I will always dress up. I'm sorry. I will always dress up for Halloween.
That's fine.
My dad once asked me, when are you going to grow up? I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about, old man?
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, never.
But you don't trick or treat still. You just
define trick or treat. You mean, do I go out in the neighborhood and ask for candy?
Yeah.
No. Do I dress up and sit here when kids come to the house?
Oh, that's the most fun. Yeah.
Do I dress up and go to somebody else's house and we turn the lights out and watch a movie and don't hand anything out? Yes. I've done that too.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. In my house, there's such limited amount of people who come here.
Right.
I would go all out and buy tons and tons of things. Things that I didn't like because I didn't want to eat ahead of time.
Right.
I thought, I'm going to buy all this crap that I don't care for, so it is still here on Halloween night for the tons and tons of children who live in this neighborhood. And then I get 7, 8
in this
kids.
Neighborhood here?
Yes.
Really? Interesting.
I get 7 or 8 kids. And then I'm stuck with all this crap. I'm like, you know what? Forget it. You guys find another house to go to.
So are you getting into those little kisses? Those little disgusting gray...
I am now.
Candies?
I actually like those.
Do you like candy corn too, I suppose?
No, I don't like candy corn. Candy corn. No. It's corn.
Oh, don't.
I can't have it. It's one of those things that hit my ear just right.
I thought I was done with that one.
No.
What about you, Mike? How about memories of Halloween?
Millennial style.
I grew up with an older brother. So I do remember going out with him, and my dad would always go, well, my mom would stay home and hand out candy. And I remember as a kid, costume-wise, I always kind of felt like they came in the last minute. Like there was never really a plan. So there was a lot of running around and trying to figure things out. I remember once, I'm pretty sure my mom got ambitious and made me a ladybug costume. How sweet!
She absolutely did. That's fantastic.
I think it was like an orange garbage bag that was like stuffed to like be the what do you call it? Not a shell. What is a lady?
It's a shell.
Does a ladybug
shell wings? I think or something.
Thing.
It's the hard, whatever that is.
So there was that, which I kind of actually forgot about until we were talking about this. My aunt made a really cool Ninja Turtles costume. My brother and I had like matching ones. I would have been Michelangelo. He probably was Donatello. And it was like it was wearing a duvet. Like it was so stuffed and plush, and it had this like hood with like, it was almost like your face was kind of like in their mouth when you pulled the hood up a bit. But I hated going out on Halloween on cold nights because you would have to wear this like winter coat over your
yes.
costume.
Yes.
It was stupid. So this Ninja Turtles costume ticked the boxes. It was a kind of a cure-all. So I remember that. I too had costumes that did not date well, that we won't be mentioning as well.
No.
But I do have a lot of really fond memories of going out and trick-or-treating. I would work up a sweat. That was my mission. Food-driven, candy, certainly. I would have a sleeping bag, a pillowcase within my pillowcase, so I was always ready to go for round 2.
Oh man.
And I'd pass off
serious.
bag 1, so my dad would have to lug that around while I was going.
That's called working out.
Yeah, and I hated it because like I was so eager to get to the next house. We get in trouble for cutting across the lawn, so you had to be respectful and walk down the driveway.
Yes.
It's like double the steps at least.
And did you say thank you? Did you say thank you?
Yeah. Now, in all fairness, I think I was a polite kid. I don't think
sure you
they
were.
ever had
I
to
can't see you not being a polite
Like little ladybug.
remind me what's. Yeah, there's a few fond Halloween costumes for you.
Yes. When I was in university, I had my degrees in history, and I got to do a lot of essays and research on things that I wanted to study.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the history of popular culture class, which was fantastic. And of course, my major project for the year was on the history of Halloween.
Oh.
And it was really cool.
So, Cole's notes.
It's a whole bunch of holidays melded together.
Like that
Catholic
costume
stuff?
your mom made you?
Yes. It's a hodgepodge, really. The Catholics, the Celts, a whole bunch of stuff. Pagan stuff, all together. It's not Halloween, though, without movies. And it's not Halloween without my scary stories to tell in the dark.
I see that in front of you, you have a collection of your favorite bedtime stories.
Yes. I'm sure if you were a Gen X kid and you had a library in your elementary school,
Yeah.
you probably saw or took out, like I did 100 times, scary stories to tell in the dark. 1, 2, and 3.
I feel like maybe the librarian flagged your card
Oh,
because it would be like, okay, Laurie, like, is something wrong? Because like you take this book out in spring, summer.
well, here's the thing. My brother would also take it out.
Oh no.
So when I would bring it back, he would take it out and back and forth and back and forth. Until one day they really caught on to us and said, hey, other kids need to see these books too, eh?
Yeah, buy the book.
Yeah. Scholastic Book Fair? Damn right I bought the books.
The best day at school.
Scholastic Book Fair,
best-
baby!
The best day at school.
Yeah. And then I was in Detroit on a field trip with some students once.
Oh.
And I was at a bookstore in some mall, and I came across an anthology. Like a
So it's a
compilation
collection of all
Yes.
of them?
It's a collection of all 3 books in here.
Very nice.
And if you remember this, you remember that Alvin Schwartz was I don't want to say he was the author because he didn't write them, but he collected the stories. They're like folklore, old-timey campfire stories. And Stephen Gamble did the illustrations, and it's the illustrations that are what nightmares are made of.
Right.
This has been a banned book in the States.
Well, seems like a lot of books are getting
Yeah, I guess that's true. I can't really go too far with that. A lot of books are banned in there, but the fact that like the illustrations in here are horrifying.
Yeah.
These are not what you would expect.
Like
in
he
a
didn't get the memo.
children's-
this is like going to be in kids' libraries.
like 7, 8-year-olds are taking this out of the library, and they're scary.
Yeah, I did. I don't remember the books, but I did sneak a peek at some of them and thought,
Like,
yeah, that is
scary ass stuff here.
And your little developing brain's gonna hold on to.
And what did I do? I took it out every time my brother didn't.
Schultz's were flagged for sure.
Schultz's definitely were flagged. My brother used to draw stories or draw pictures and write little stories.
Yeah.
They were always like skulls with knives coming out of them and like dead people and stuff like that. Oh. Today that would cause such alarm at school.
Yeah.
Back
Those were
then
the
it was
Addams
just like,
family.
yeah, those same Schultz kids, same shit as always.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they knew my mom. My mom worked at the school, so it was like.
What did your mom do at the
She
school?
was a lunchroom supervisor.
Oh, bless
Everybody
her.
knew my mom. She made, what's that called? sponge toffee for all the kids.
Aww.
Yeah.
Georgia makes a good sponge toffee. I've been the recipient before. Hey, one of my favorite things in all these books that Laurie has brought out and has scattered across our desk here is In a Dark, Dark Room and Other Scary Stories from the I Can Read series. Reading with Help, Level 2. Uh-huh. Just
please read something.
Oh,
why don't you tell her about Jenny?
Oh, Jenny!
Jenny's in that book.
I just saw Jenny. Are we
with the green ribbon around her neck?
I feel like Laurie's a much stronger storyteller. Why don't you?
Well, I can't read it because we don't have the rights to actually read this book.
I think you can.
Nope, you can't read it in this broadcast. Can't read it, but I can tell you. I'll give you the Coles Notes version.
Okay.
Jenny was a little girl who always wore a green ribbon around her neck. Some of you will remember this story. Fabulous story.
Yes.
And everybody always wondered, what the hell's the deal with the green ribbon around her neck? So Jenny ends up meeting this boy named Albert. And Albert and Jenny fall in love.
Oh, see?
They get married. And of course, like she's wearing this wedding dress with a green ribbon around her neck.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Does she ever take this off? Does she ever wash her neck? We don't know. Right? What's the deal, Jenny, with this green ribbon?
Yeah.
And Albert's like, hey, Jenny, what's the deal with your green ribbon? I can't tell you, Albert. One day you'll know. One day. And then, after their wedding, she ends up growing old and she gets really sick. And she's lying in bed and he's sitting on the bed beside her. He's like, Jenny, tell me what's going on with the green ribbon. And she says, you know what? I'm finally ready to tell you. What I want you to do is unwrap the green ribbon.
Oh, no.
And Albert slowly unwraps the ribbon from around her neck. And Jenny's head falls off.
I can read.
Yes. Look it says right there. For those of you, obviously you can't see this, but I'm showing
and
the picture.
Jenny's head fell
and
off.
on page 33, it's a picture of a decapitated head on the ground, and the words up top says, and Jenny's head falls off.
Yes.
Jenny's head fell off.
I am here for that one being banned. I'm just going to say.
No way, man. That's how I learned to read.
And other things.
And this is why I'm obsessed with Dateline.
Oh.
And Morbid. And that's a great podcast if you haven't listened to Morbid.
I have. It is very good.
Yeah.
On your advice.
But Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, I now bring the books to my classroom in every October.
That's awesome.
I pick and choose some of the stories to read to the kids. And under the guise of, I'm going to scare you today, guys. And of course the stories aren't scary. But it's a fun little ritual I do. It's good times. But Halloween lives on in my heart and always will.
Mm.
I still make homemade costumes to this day. And I think they're actually the best costumes.
And do you have a plan for this Halloween?
Absolutely.
Top secret.
Well, Mike and I have a plan together. Don't we, Millennial Mike?
We sure do.
For
That's
our other
top secret.
we have our other little show, Out for Coffee with Mike and Laurie. And for the last couple of years now, we've had Halloween episodes. And we've had some outfits. So we're going to do it again. And I think this year, it actually does have a retro 80s.
I'm excited. I'm intrigued because don't tell him. I don't want to know.
I won't tell you. But as soon as you see it, and I urge our listener out there to,
Thank you, listener.
to check out our Out for Coffee episode. Actually, it's also released today, our Halloween episode. So once you're done listening to us, you flip on over and find Out for Coffee with Mike and Laurie. And you can actually watch that.
I'm going to do that so I can find out. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And as soon as you see it, you'll be like, oh my God, I know exactly what that is. Because Halloween lives on. That little girl, what's her name? Little Ava? Have you ever seen her? She's always on TikTok, just a little kid. She's so funny.
No.
And she, there's one clip that she says, it's always Halloween in my soul.
Oh.
She's just like a little kid. And I'm thinking, that's right, kid. That's what my kid would say. If I had kids, do you know how warped they would be?
100%.
Honest to God.
100%.
I have nieces, and I've done my best.
I know.
And they're also they're a little warped. It's good. Love it. I have to, this is why I'm a teacher. My legacy must live on.
Must.
I must.
What did the ghost say to the bee?
I don't know.
Boo bee.
Boo. Oh, my God.
And with that.
I think that's the end of this episode. I don't think there's much more we can add to that.
I just think that Mike needs a sound bite that's like, wah, wah, because he gives me the look of like, oh, God. Why does she do this? Booby.
Booby. Hey, did you hear about the skeleton? that went into the bar and ordered 3 beers and a mop?
No.
That's the joke. He ordered 3 beers and a mop.
Because
Because it'll all leak through him.
And with that, we'd like to wish everyone a safe and happy Halloween.
And what's today's episode brought to you by, Laurie?
Today's episode is brought to us by UNICEF. The now defunct charity. That, I don't know. I don't think nobody ever goes, just like Block Parents, where the hell is that? Nobody sees that anymore either.
Well, they probably, anyway.
But if you really feel like donating to charity this Halloween, I urge you to make a donation to the Laurie Schultz Foundation.
The Human Fund?
Because the greatest nation in the world is donation. So please hit us up on our socials, and I'll let you know how you can make a donation to the Laurie Schultz Foundation, the Recreation Coffee Fund.
There's just a lot going on here.
Yeah.
This is getting scary, so let's go now.
Thanks for joining us. See you next time on
listener.
Generation X Rated, the Survivor Stories.
if you or anyone you know is a Gen X survivor, you may be entitled to compensation. Not from us, but probably from somewhere. If you would like to connect with us, find us on Facebook at Gen X Rated, or Instagram at Gen_X_rated, and by email at genxratedsocials@gmail.com.